To get a residence permit in Turkey, first you need to prepare the documents and schedule an interview in the Immigration Service. Many newcomers have questions about this procedure. In this video, we've got answers to these questions. You will learn the correct sequence of actions and how to prepare for the interview known as the Rendezvous at the Turkish Immigration Office to obtain a residence permit. We provide this information with the support of lawyers from the Tolerance Company, which seems to be the only real estate agency whose lawyers assist clients in obtaining residence permits in Turkey for free. How they do this, we will explain too. You can also find a video on our channel that explains how the Tolerance helps with obtaining Turkish citizenship and what specific steps are involved. You can watch it by the link on the screen. This video also answers common questions about obtaining Turkish citizenship. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, for we're talking about what others may not know or discuss. As you know, rendezvous means meeting. Oh la la! And in Turkey, this French word is practically used to name a formal appointment for an interview with an official. For immigrants, the first official they encounter is typically the immigration officer. The appointment or rendezvous with them is scheduled for a specific day and time. During the meeting, the foreigner's documents are reviewed and a decision is made regarding whether they will receive a Turkish residence permit. E-Ikamet is the website of the Turkish Migration Office. It's quite user-friendly and convenient to use. To schedule an appointment, you need to fill out the electronic application form at this site. Select your language at the top of the page on the right-hand side, and then choose the type of service you need. There are three types of services available: obtaining a residence permit for the first time, extending an existing residence permit, and changing from one type of residence permit to another. For example, if you previously had a permit based on renting a property and now want to get one based on property ownership. After selecting this service, you will be prompted to fill out an application form. All information on the form should be entered in Latin. You will need to provide your personal details. Be accurate with your passport information. Also, you should provide information about your sources of income, your medical insurance policy number, and its expiration date. Be sure to enter your contact details, including your phone number and email address, and double-check their accuracy. Each family member should fill out a separate application. Furthermore, you will need to prepare a biometric photo in electronic format and remember to print it as well. You can have this photograph taken by any photo studio. After filling out the application, you will be redirected to a page to select the appropriate migration office. The date and time for your appointment can sometimes be chosen, but only from available dates in the system, but usually they are automatically assigned. Make sure that you have no other plans on that day, as missing rendezvous is not allowed under any circumstances, and all applicants, including infants, must attend. Once you have completed the application, confirm it by clicking the button. If everything is in order, a corresponding notification will appear on the page after it refreshes. If the system shows an error, you will need to fill out the application again. Sometimes it's happened. Note that it's better to make an appointment for a rendezvous from a computer because you will need to save the application form in PDF format and then print it to attach to your document set. You'll receive a list of documents during the application process, along with a specified government fee for your type of residence permit. How does rendezvous go and what do you need to know about it? We will ask Sergey Volchenkov, the Director of Development at Tolerance Homes, who has helped many clients obtain a residence permit in Turkey through purchase real estate. Sergey, please describe the process of rendezvous at Goch. It's all simple, but you need to follow the rules. We help our clients adhere to these rules and handle many important procedures for them, and I'm going to explain this today. Unlike other agencies, we at Tolerance Homes provide this service for free. Now about rendezvous itself. At the appointment time, you need to arrive at the selected branch of the immigration office. You should have a completed and printed application form with you, as well as a receipt for the government fee, photographs, and a package of additional documents. It's important to be fully prepared for the appointment because immigration officers may sometimes have additional questions for residence permit applicants. Don't worry, the conversation with the immigration officers typically takes no more than half an hour. What questions are the most frequently asked during the appointment? The officer's main task is to gain a clear understanding of where you will be living in Turkey, your financial situation, and whether you have income to support yourself and your dependents if they are also applying for a residence permit. The immigration officer may ask questions like, on what basis are you applying for a residence permit? Your response should align with what you stated in your application. If you're purchasing real estate, that's what you should mention. A question that may sound similar is, for what purpose are you applying for a residence permit? Here you can say that you plan to live in Turkey or move here for permanent residency. Another common question: are you planning to seek employment in Turkey? The correct answer is no, since a residence permit doesn't grant work rights. To get this right, you should obtain a special work visa. When they ask, do you have sources of income that will allow you to live in Turkey for an extended period without employment, it's a good idea to tell about your sources of income outside of Turkey. Certainly, the mere fact that you are purchasing real estate in Turkey indicates your financial capability. So this is a definite advantage, and with such an advantage, obtaining a residence permit is practically guaranteed if you comply with the rules. However, in Goethe they may not ask about anything else but only request documents and fingerprints. Let's talk about the minimum property price that shows financial capability to the authorities. How much should an apartment cost to get a residence permit? The minimum threshold for the property price for a residence permit now ranges from $50,000 to $75,000, depending on the region. There wasn't such limit until recently. However, due to a large influx of immigrants, Turkish authorities decided to implement this law. To get a residence permit in Turkey, you need to submit a complete set of documents. The absence of any of them will mean that the residence permit will not be issued. In that case, there are usually two options. Either you will be asked to provide the necessary documents, typically within a month, or your application will be declined and you will need to reapply. Usually, officers allow for corrections. Here is a typical list of required documents. A printed and personally signed application. International passport and a copy. Receipt for the residence permit fee, usually paid in cash in Turkish lira. Medical insurance policy for the entire requested residence permit period. Copy of tapu, the property ownership certificate, and a certificate from the cadastre office confirming that the property still belongs to you. Numeratash, an extract from the municipality about the property's address. Bank account statement, confirming the availability of funds required for living in Turkey. The document sent may vary slightly depending on the type of residence permit. For example, if you are getting a residence permit based on a rent in a property, you will need a notarized lease agreement instead of tapu. If you want to obtain a residence permit for your children, you will need to submit copies of their birth certificates and your marriage certificate with an apostille and a notarized translation into Turkish. If only one parent applies for their child's residence permit, the other parent will need to provide a notarized consent. If the consent is issued outside of Turkey, it must be apostilled, translated into Turkish, and notarized. Additionally, applicants may be required to provide a health certificate or a certificate of no criminal record and law violations in some cases. You can find a complete list of documents in the article How to Schedule an Appointment for a Residence Permit in Turkey. The link to the article is provided in the description below this video. Tolerance Homes is perhaps the only real estate agency in Antalya that offers free assistance in obtaining a residence permit. And it's not just about guiding you on how to fill out the application and then leaving you to sail on your own. No, with Tolerance Homes, our licensed attorney handles everything from start to finish. Our attorney will personally complete the application for you on the website, as he well versed in the system and you don't have to figure it out yourself. The attorney will clarify the list of required documents in your specific case. He will arrange the appointment at the immigration office for you and, if necessary, accompany you to the appointment to provide accurate answers to the officer's questions, for only a licensed attorney has the right to do so. He can even obtain documents for you through the mail if you grant them the necessary power of attorney. With Tolerance Homes, all of these services are provided for free. You will only need to cover the official fees and charges. After rendezvous at the immigration office, you'll need to wait for the authorities' decision. To understand what you can and cannot do during this period and how long it might take, let's hear from attorney Ferruh Shatursunov, who has been working in Antalya for a long time. How long should foreigners wait for their residence permit after the appointment at the immigration office? When and how do they receive their residence permit document? The timeframes will be different in different cases. Some people get their residence permits in a week after approval, while for others it might take up to 3 months. Even if you haven't received your residence permit card yet, if you applied for a residence permit, you're in Turkey legally, because you're already awaiting the immigration office's response. If your residence permit is approved, the card will be delivered to the address you provided in your application. If they can't find you at that address, they will attempt delivery twice, and if unsuccessful, the card will be held at the post office for approximately 6 weeks. After that, if you don't get it, they will send it back to the immigration office, and you can retrieve your cards from there eventually. But initially, there's no need to go to Göç for the document. No, there's no need. Can foreigners leave Turkey after rendezvous at the immigration office? Yes, they can. If you still have visa-free days left, you can leave. But if you've used up all your visa-free days and are waiting for a response from the immigration office, then you should obtain a certificate from the immigration office. With this certificate and the receipt for the government fee, you can go to the airport, show it, and there won't be any fines. You can stay abroad for no more than 15 days. And can a person leave Turkey while waiting for the rendezvous? Yes, you can. The most important thing is that when you fill out the application, you should be in Turkey. On the day of rendezvous, you also need to be in Turkey. But before that, you can be abroad. The key thing is to be at the immigration office on the day of rendezvous. What should one do when their residence permit is about to expire? You can renew your residence permit. To do this, you must fill out the application through the immigration office, and it should be the last 60 days when your residence permit is still valid. So one need to repeat the residence permit procedure. You need to repeat it just like you did it last time. Fill out the application, gather the documents, the same process. How much does the procedure for getting a residence permit in Turkey cost for foreigners? How much money? It does change, of course. For Russian citizens, for example, it's $45 plus 356 lira for the card. That's the cheapest government fee. Ukrainians or people from England or from other European countries, they pay more in government fees. How much would you estimate the total expenses for a person who wants to get a residence permit in Turkey, considering all possible costs? I would say a minimum of $300 or $400, all government fees, insurance, translations, everything. Minimum $300 for each. And the upper limit? The upper limit could be $600 or $700. And how much do the services of those who help obtain a residence permit cost? And what can be included in these services? Outsiders cannot help you obtain a residence permit. They can only submit an application and hand over their documents to you. After that, you must take it to the immigration office. If any issues arise, you must resolve them yourself. These assistants cannot enter there. Only licensed lawyers can enter and resolve your issues. So, do you need this help of unlicensed assistants? It's up to you to decide. Attorneys engaged by the company Tolerance are experienced, verified professionals. Only to such professionals is the company willing to entrust its most valuable assets, its clients, who find through Tolerance Homes what many dream of, a new place under the sun. The vast database of hundreds of apartments and villas all over Turkey is always available on the agency's website. Warn you, it may take more than a day to fully explore it, so maybe it's better to just contact us, and our certified specialist will help you choose the best property. And the Tolerance always guarantees the best prices for these properties. On our channel you'll find many informative videos where agency experts and their guests provide in-depth insights into various aspects of life in Turkey, property purchase and management, and relocating to this unique country. Getting residency in Turkey is a good way to secure your future, as a residence permit will allow you to live in this country legally and enjoy many privileges, such as opening a bank account, enrolling your children in school, receiving medical treatment, and visiting state museums almost for free. Within 20 years of experience in the Turkish real estate market, Tolerance Agency is here to assist you in achieving this goal. And after that in Turkey, only pleasant rendezvous. Subscribe to our channel and write us comments and don't miss new videos.